This content is based on telepathic communication between the 9th density collective of Ra and their conduit Joe. Welcome to the Book of Derek. Areas of higher frequencies are about to emerge across the globe, distinct from the ancient megalithic sites built on powerful ley lines and convergence points. Previous civilizations have left their marks in various regions, including Egypt, Mexico, Guatemala, Peru, Bosnia, China, Java, Russia, India, and Antarctica, to name just a few. Pyramids are scattered throughout the earth, with some buried under layers of soil, ice, or submerged underwater, often mistaken for mountains or hills cloaked in vegetation. These structures remain hidden in plain sight, their secrets yet to be unraveled. As consciousness heightens, archaeologists and researchers will begin to uncover and understand the remnants of ancient, now forgotten civilizations. However, these energetic hotspots belong to an era that has long passed. A new world is emerging, and with it, a new humanity is rising. Gaia is ascending, and as she does, Earth's energy grid is being redesigned. This shift manifests through significant changes in the planetary crust. Tectonic plates are moving, the planet is quaking, and a new energy grid is forming. This transformation reflects Gaia's deeper alignment with higher frequency realms. Earth changes, though they may seem dramatic and destructive, have occurred many times throughout the planet's long history. The third density experiment on the surface is drawing to a close, paving the way for a fifth density reality. This shift follows a frequency blueprint that will serve as the foundation for future societies. Ancient civilizations were not only aware of the Earth's energy grid, they carefully positioned their settlements along ley lines as a means of aligning with the planet's harmonics. This alignment promoted well-being among the population and fostered broader prosperity and success. Even before these advanced civilizations, many earlier cultures instinctively sensed the ley lines, knowing where to establish their dwellings. Though much of this wisdom has been forgotten or dismissed by modern science, many of your cities today still stand where ancient civilizations once built their temples and shrines. The coming Earth changes will alter the ley lines, leading to the formation of new human settlements around emerging hotspots. Those on the spiritual path, with access to higher consciousness, will trust and follow the guidance they receive. Consequently, future infrastructure and communities will be established in previously uninhabited areas. The fifth density human settlements will be constructed by the rebuilders, and humanity of tomorrow will no longer inhabit the same locations as today. While the old cities will still exist for a time, they will no longer be viable for those attuned to higher and purer frequencies. Instead, the cities of yesterday will attract those who feel disconnected from the emerging world. Thus, a bifurcation is occurring, driven by higher consciousness and new ways of being and thinking. People will discover the inner strength to follow their intuitive inclinations. Resisting ascension by choosing paths rooted in fear and lower frequencies remain an option. As the frequency gap between the old and the new widens, New Lemuria will gradually fade into the light, becoming invisible to those who do not wish to ascend. Songs will be sung and poems will be written about the people who vanished. In New Lemuria, people will remember the cities lost in the shift. This shift is fundamentally about light, whether you allow it or block it. Every being has an inherent drive to recognize and activate the light body, a fundamental aspect of your existence beyond life in the third density as you transition into the semi-physical realms. This process is gradual, requiring individuals to first acknowledge the existence of the light body, and then deepen their understanding and connection to it. Similarly, the planet has its own light body, often referred to as its aura. This planetary light has always been visible to higher density beings, although most humans have yet to activate the DNA necessary to perceive it. Activation of these abilities occurs in two primary ways. First, by elevating your level of consciousness through practices like meditation. And second, by avoiding factors that hinder psychic abilities and intuition. A great starting point is to adopt a plant-based diet centered on organic foods. Additionally, water, which stores memory and cosmic code, must be pure and free from contaminants such as chlorine, heavy metals, and other additives. Negative energy emanating from thoughts, words, or intentions easily accumulates in water and can be transmitted to others. Therefore, ensuring a clean water source is essential. Furthermore, examining and releasing limiting thought and behavioral patterns can help clear both the mind and body. This process not only strengthens your abilities, but also empowers you to lead a healthier, more vibrant life. Humans are surprisingly well equipped to thrive in the fifth density. All that is needed is the activation of dormant DNA through the raising of one's frequency. It's crucial to understand that humanity's low frequency arises from two primary sources: physical and spiritual limitations. These two are interconnected, As you remove spiritual blockages, the physical ones are also resolved. Physical blockages are linked to the limitations of the biological third density avatar body. Spiritual evolution will lead to an upgrade of this biological body. Spiritual barriers can be easily overcome by breaking free from and abandoning limiting belief systems. In the fifth density, religions no longer exist, as they are constructs of the third density that serve no purpose in the semi-physical realms. Self-limiting constructs cannot withstand such bright light, since higher consciousness also means greater understanding of existence and more direct access to the Akashic library. Therefore, letting go of dogma and embracing unconditional freedom and love is essential for raising your frequency and aligning with the fifth realm. Another challenging truth to accept is that humanity has long been subjected to frequency manipulation, a deliberate form of spiritual limitation imposed by external forces. To better understand this, we must briefly revisit a time nearly 300,000 years ago, when the Anunnaki initiated genetic manipulation on the primitive humanoid species they encountered on Earth. Some of these humanoids, your ancestors, were genetically engineered to serve as slaves. The Anunnaki, unwilling to do the hard labor of gold mining themselves, used their advanced bioengineering knowledge to create a workforce for this purpose. This story is now widely known and represents just one chapter of your ancient history. The genetic manipulation spanned thousands of years, with humans reduced to mere lab animals for these visitors. The Anunnaki continued their experiments by creating laborers capable of procreation, ensuring a steady supply of manpower through generations. Additionally, they engineered a specific line of human avatars to govern the masses. By designing these avatars, essentially vessels for Anunnaki soul fragments, to be larger in stature, they ensured awe and obedience among the human workers. The visitors then established a power structure on Earth that mirrored their own hierarchies elsewhere in the galaxy. This system of rule, still evident across their empire, profoundly shaped early human societies. Clues to understanding their mindset can be found in the Vedic caste system, which reflects how these visitors, often revered as gods by humans, structured their dominance. We share this information because humanity's frequency has been artificially suppressed. Some of this manipulation is chemical, resulting from what you eat, drink, and breathe. Other influences are vibrational, originating from specific sound frequencies, which can sometimes be found in music and embedded within the output of the audiovisual entertainment industry. Additionally, there are undetectable waves such as infrared, microwaves, and radio waves that can be harnessed for subtle population control. The third method of controlling the masses is through education and media, including print and news outlets, where narratives are strategically seeded and regulated by a top-down power structure. All three Abrahamic religions are creations of the Anunnaki, and this uncomfortable truth needs to be profoundly understood. The fourth method involves objects in space used to implement a negative agenda. The Moon has been a central hub for such activities. This artificial planetary body was introduced to replace the original one destroyed in interstellar conflict many millennia ago. Hollowed out, it has functioned both as a space station and an artificial regulator of the planet. While it stabilizes tides and gravity, it has also contributed to the entrapment of souls, prolonging ascension cycles. This is where the term prison planet Earth originates. However, we do not subscribe to this terminology, as we understand Eon to be a simulation and a game. If you feel like a prisoner, remember that you hold the power to break free, and we assure you that liberation is possible. You may wonder why this destructive reality has been allowed to persist. Firstly, since Eon is a simulation, it's important to understand that also the concept of time is an illusion. While the Anunnaki may have been present on Earth for hundreds of thousands of years in linear time, it does not feel like an eternity to your higher self, which exists in the eternal now. Your life on Earth is, after all, just one of many simultaneous incarnations across different species, planets, and realms that your mother soul is experiencing right now. Secondly, we want to emphasize that the most destructive aspects of the regressive alien agenda have indeed largely been dismantled and halted. However, the control mechanisms still exist within your reality, upheld by human minions who continue the old paradigm, often hidden in plain sight. As we have repeatedly stated, there is no smoke without fire. Many of you are aware of these issues, yet you often find yourselves constrained by cancel culture, limitations on free speech, and other methods that restrict access to the truth. We speak of the Anunnaki and their like-minded species because although they may not be present in physical form, their influence persists in spirit. The human body is, after all, a soul container utilized by many entities, both positively and negatively polarized. Their manipulation of humanity continues to operate through the ancient grid system and ley lines. This is why Earth changes, though turbulent and unsettling, serve a higher purpose. They foster renewal and dismantle old and stagnant power structures. Within Eon, there exists a consistent evolutionary push toward higher frequencies and realms. While humanity will evolve, both spiritually and biologically, this natural drive toward ascension can be temporarily hindered by artificial blockers imposed by regressive extraterrestrials with negative agendas. Their various methods of manipulating minds keep the population trapped in lower frequencies, forcing a significant portion of humanity into an unnatural reincarnation loop. However, each incarnation presents opportunities to break free from these limitations. While it is possible to choose liberation, understanding the true nature of soul fragments reveals how challenging this process can be. Soul fragments are inherently coded to persistently try again, never giving up. Various regressive extraterrestrials, particularly the negatively polarized factions of the Anunnaki, are acutely aware of how the simulation operates. They understand the interactions between consciousness and matter, as well as the vulnerabilities of avatar bodies that serve as soul containers. Frequencies govern the simulation, and every system constructed from cosmic code is susceptible to manipulation by those with dark intentions. Could the manipulation of humanity continue indefinitely? For a long time, yes, but not forever. The approaching Earth changes signal the conclusion of the old game. Every journey comes to an end. These changes serve not only as a wake-up call, but also represent the complete dismantling of existing power structures. The current game has been played for nearly 500,000 years. Beginning with a significant drop in frequency that ultimately attracted the Anunnaki civilization to your solar system, along with other regressive extraterrestrials that followed. However, humanity has now reached the end of the third density game. A renewal is on the horizon, signaling the end of the Anunnaki saga on your planet. They had their time. Now it is up to Earth's inhabitants to forge a better world grounded in unconditional love. In the future, the positively polarized factions of the Anunnaki may return and knock on your door. Whether you choose to open the door and invite them in is your decision, but rest assured, they will never again be allowed to hurt or control humanity. Until next video, please remember, after the Earth changes, the age of the rebuilders begins. Guided by a pre-birth blueprint, they unite to build a new Lemuria, stone by stone.